सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेद वेदांग वेदांत विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि नमोऽस्तुते। यदक्षरं पदं भ्रष्टं मात्रहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवी प्रसीद परमेश्वरी। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ श्री स्वामी हरि ओम हरि ओम। So we saw, I think, up to the 40th verse last class. The first topic of the second chapter going on. And here Swami Samarth Ramdas is talking about Lakshana of Murkha, the signs of fools. How to be able to spot the Murkha. These Lakshanas within ourselves, for ourselves, so that we avoid doing this, thinking one way, behaving one way, conducting ourselves this way. And we also are able to recognize it in another. So there was a question that is this required in the sense, aren't we being judgmental? Now, to judge is very, very natural to us. When we say Viveka Buddhi, one should have, what are we telling? Vivekam is to be able to discern the right with the wrong, or what is most preferable to the other. It's a sense of judgment only that we make. It is natural. But there is certain judgment that is required. And what we say to be non-judgmental is actually that comes with understanding, with our maturity. As we mature, we recognize that there are different reasons why people act like the way they do. And when there is more understanding and acceptance, you are not condemning a person for the way he or she is. That's the kind of judgment that we seek. So it comes with applying a judgment, and then you can go wrong. It's with trial and error you learn to sharpen your judgment skills also. To be non-judgmental is to not, these ideas that we get of hating a person or anger that comes into our mind. This comes, if it comes because we judge someone or a situation one way, we suffer it. Then that is the kind of judgment that is not required. Are we understanding this? This Vivekam and Vairagyam are very, very important things. Therefore, we must know. And as we learn and grow, there is a certain understanding about how to handle these. Even if you spot these lakshanas in another, you learn how to handle it. Until you have not learned how to handle it, you must try and avoid such situations. And for that, you need to judge. So here, and if this was not required, let me tell you, Sant Mahajan will not write about it. The very fact that he has written, and not only that, I think there are 74 verses on this. It can't, he could have just completed it in 10 verses. But the very reason is to tell us what is nishadda, what we should avoid. We should be able to catch this. Then we can go to what has to be done, because he has told us about good qualities. The next topic is all about good qualities, right? And the right knowledge. He does give us enough about that. So here, when we were speaking, we spoke that yes, one who thinks that his wife and children are his only supporters and forgets God. That was the 40th verse that we did. So now we will just go ahead and look at the verses from 41 to 50. In Marathi, first we will read it. जैसे जैसे करावे तैसे तैसे पावावे हे जयास नेणवे तो एक मूर्ख. The 41st verse. पुरुषाचेनी अष्टगुणे स्त्रियांस ईश्वरी देणे ऐशा केल्या बहुत जेणे तो एक मूर्ख. दुर्जनाचेनी बोले मर्यादा सांडून चाले दिवसा झाकिले डोळे तो एक मूर्ख. देवद्रोही गुरुद्रोही मातृद्रोही पितृद्रोही ब्रह्मद्रोही स्वामीद्रोही तो एक मूर्ख. परपीडेचे मानी सुख पसत संतोषांचे मानी दुःख गेले वस्तूच्या करी शोक तो एक मूर्ख. आदरे वेळ बोलणे न पुसतां साक्ष देणे निंद्य वस्तू अंगीकारणे तो एक मूर्ख. तुख तोडून बोले मार्ग सांडून चाले कुकर्मी मित्र केले तो एक मूर्ख. पत्य राखो नेणे कदा विनोद करी सर्वदा हासतां खिचे पेटे द्वंद्व तो एक मूर्ख. होड झाली अवघड कांजे विण करी बडबड बोलोची नेणे मुख जड तो एक मूर्ख. वस्त्र शास्त्र दोन्ही नसे उंचे स्थळी जाऊन बसे जो गोत्र जांस विश्वासे तो एक मूर्ख. Now what is exactly said here? The 41st we see. One who does not realize that one reaps the fruits according to what one sows is a fool. What you sow, so shall you reap. Isn't it? So, this is we all have probably used it. We have spoken about it. But to really understand that whatever comes into our lives, the situations that we face, is all our doing. This kind of a thing we cannot accept. This responsibility or accountability for our thinking, for our behavior, for our conduct. We do not take it. We say, oh, I must, if something has come, why has it come my way this way? It is that maybe God is impartial. God is not, impartial. He is being partial to some others And to me, this is a very common understanding among people, that they think that God is the one who is sitting there giving punishment and rewards for people. Bhagavan Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, I am not the doer of that. Please do not hold me responsible for it. Very clearly. We studied that in the 5th chapter. He says, I have created laws of nature. This Prakriti works one way. There is a law. Whatever you do, there is a reaction, and you will reap what you sow. You have sown a mango seed, you will reap mango fruits. You cannot sow a mango seed and expect apples to grow in that tree. So actually the onus lies on us now. And in a way, that is very releasing. So nice not to have anybody else to blame, isn't it? Otherwise, we are always blaming. Vastu of this house is like this. That's why things are not working. My stars are to be blamed. My parents have to be blamed. We try to blame everything and everybody around us, but very rarely do we point to ourselves and say, where can I make an improvement? Where am I going wrong? What do I need to do to correct myself? And that's all that is required, actually. So as you saw, like, in our Lakshmana, they have been given, they know, Sri Rama has been given Vanvasa. And he was to be coronated the next day, but he gets to hear that he is now to be leaving for the forest for 14 years, not to be coronated as the king in Ayodhya. Overnight, everything has changed for the crown prince. Think of that situation. I mean, just put yourself in that position. You are to be coronated. All the, rituals and celebrations have begun, and everybody is congratulating you, waiting for that moment, and you get to hear that no, it's not going to be yours. For 14 years, you have to be in exile, and you have to go into the forest. That's going to be your life. Nobody with you. Of course, Lakshmana wants to go, and Sita Maya also goes. For long, they have started on the journey, and Lakshmana from within is very, very anxious. He was anxious, he was agitated, he wanted a lot of answers. Obviously, the first thing that comes to, why did this happen to me? And why did it happen to Sri Rama like this? What was this? Overnight, everything changed. Why did it happen? Yet, Lakshmana waits for the right time to ask his brother. He says, when I find him in a time, because he is also agitated, Sita Maya is agitated. I mean, everyone must be as confused and anxious as him. So he says, let us start the journey. Let us see how the journey goes. Let us settle somewhere. And then I will ask him, see, this is the patience one should have in front of a guru also. Wait and watch. Wait for the right time to ask questions. When he found Sri Rama in a situation, in a relaxed mode one morning, he goes and asks him, brother, what has happened? Why did this happen to us? He wants to know. So there is this great, nice bhajan by Swami Brahmananda, and said, in that, there is this line, no, Sukh Dukh Sab Daiv Adhina, Nahi Koi Kisi Ka कीना जी, यह मूर्ख जन भरमावी. Again, there the word Murukh comes up. Murkhansa Lakshana. He says, this jaga, you are thinking that somebody has done it? No, this is the way it had to happen. This is the will. This is the divine will. Now, divine will is again, is it that we are blaming God? No, there is a certain thing that has happened in the past that has caused events to happen this way. He says, I have no problem. यह मूर्ख जग भरमाई. People are confused because they think somebody has done this to somebody. They blame people. He says, no, it is not like that. This is the way it has to be. In fact, I am very happy. Sang Janak Sutha Sukhadhai Suna Lakshmana Pyare Bhai. So even when he is in the forest in exile and things have happened, he says, this is the way it had to be. This is the prasad buddhi you maintain. So we must never be agitated, anxious, or whatever it is that what Bhagavan gives us, how we respond to it, any situation, is shows who we are, what our knowledge is about. And so if somebody is angry and hurts you, that is his karma. How you respond to it is your karma. So be very careful about your own karma. If he insults you, it shows where he comes from. But if you also, where you respond shows where you come from. Right? So one must be very watchful about that. He says, one who does not realize that one reaps the fruits according to what one sows is a fool. Then he says, one who marries many women, though God has given 8 times more passion to them, is a fool. What does he really mean here? I have a certain understanding of this line. But in case if you have read or heard or you think differently, you may also add, please. Here, I think he one who marries many women, he seems to be a very passionate person himself. Then he would get married to many women, though God has given 8 times more passion to them. A passionate person following more passionate people. This is my understanding. He is passionate about passionate people. And the more passionate they are, the more attracted he is towards them. We are using the words passion here to mean someone who is given into sensual gratification. When we say sensual gratification, the joy or fulfillment or pleasures that come out of from the senses, eyes, ears, the nose, the skin, the smell. These are our sense organs of perception. So if you are caught up in the joys of these, and these usually take you out externally because those sense or organs, objects are all outside of us. So when the senses are going out and they're so passionate about things that are happening in the external world, we are using passion in this sense. So then such a person is fool, is a fool. The whole idea of spiritual journey itself, the path itself begins where you do a U-turn and turn inward. You control the senses and you are diverting the mind from the senses to seek the truth, to seek the divine within. And 143rd one who is being influenced by the advice of a villain behaves arrogantly behind the limits of propriety. I mean, his conduct is very poor. He breaks all boundaries and shuts his eyes in spite of evident facts. So that's a fool. So you have to know, again here, you need to make, in Vyavahara, you should know Who has your truly has your well-being in mind? And someone who is out to get at you. They are making use of you. This is Viveka Buddhi also. You need to judge here. So right judgment is required. You will know that somebody is taking advantage of you or is speaking lies to you, is speaking good to you in your face, but is different otherwise. So here, that one is an enemy of yours. He doesn't, seek your well-being. You should be able to make out the. So that's how you should be, he says. So and then he says, one who hates God, Deva Drohi, Guru Drohi, Matra Drohi, Pitra Drohi, all these words we know. Brahma Drohi, Swami Drohi, To Ek Murkha. He hates or argues, finds faults with all these people. Now, who are all these people? They are the ones who will have our well-being in mind all the time. And they are also elderly. They are usually older, more mature, more experienced, and they hold a certain standing, position in society. So if you are constantly arguing with such people and finding fault with them, Swami Samartha says you are a murkha. Then one who revels in the tortures of others. Parapiden se mani sukha. And one who feels unhappy if others get some happiness. One who laments over things that is lost. Things that are lost, if one is lamenting also constantly. One must understand that these are objects of the world and nothing in the world remains the same. So whatever the moment is right now, it is going to go away. Whatever object you have right now, it may stay with you for some time, it's going to go away. So it's foolish to regret and lament those things. Also, one who revels in somebody else's unhappiness. One who is not happy when somebody is happy. Do you know of people like this? If you ever see, like I said, if you haven't seen these kind of people, you are privileged, you are very lucky. Be that way, but then there are these people also. They cannot bear to see another person happy. You would be shocked. हाँ, ऐसे भी लोग हैं. दुनिया में ऐसे भी लोग हैं. And you should wake up to that reality. And people who दूसरों को पीड़ित, that is why they feel happy. How can you be happy with somebody else's unhappiness? But yes, there are these. Foolishness, ignorance in them makes them behave this. Then, one who talks without due respect, one who comes forward as a witness even though he is not asked, and one who accepts prohibited things is a fool. Here, गेले वस्तूची करी शोक तो एक मूर्ख आधरे वीणा बोलणे. Without respect he speaks. It is said that the way we conduct, the words we use, how we speak also shows our thinking. So we learned, right, to respect and to speak with respect. Why? It's important, etiquette. Otherwise, it just shows where we come from. Without due respect, one who comes forward, giving opinions without being asked. He comes forward as a witness even though he is not asked. To say things. I know, this happened, I was there. Even when he is not, you shouldn't put your, So this is, if you notice all this, I think more and more of these things are happening today. You see, anywhere in the world, and the chat shows, giving opinion is everybody's birthright, and everybody is giving an opinion on matters that are not even related to them. They don't even know about it, and their opinion is asked also. I wonder why. In a civilized society, and if you're having a discussion, if it is on a particular subject, experts in that field should come together and discuss. Not any Tom, Dick, or Harry giving their opinions. And today, somehow this has become very, very important. Again, Gele Vastuta Kari Shokh. Again, Sri Rama's example, if you take. Gele Vastu, what happened? He lost his throne. I mean, that is the crown. He is a crown prince, and that overnight is taken away from him. Yet, he says, nahi, nahi dosh kai kai mata, he says. He says, no, not. To be able to say that, and mere man mein shok kachu nahi. What a sense of equanimity. What control. What a poise and temper that he maintained. In spite of, it was, I think, a very big shock for everyone. It has to be, isn't it? Overnight, something happens like this. And he says, no, mere man mein shok kachu nahi. Sun Lakshman pyare bhai. Even if it is, there is a crisis and there is an emergency and it's like, oof, it has shaken you up. That's natural. Okay, so it's come up. Take some time, bring yourself to that state of equanimity within you, and then deal with the situation. The prime importance at that time is to bring yourself back to state of relaxation. This is something that comes with practice, abhyasena, not otherwise. You can't think about it, it won't happen. At any given point, any trigger that you have from the outside world, relax, then respond. You do not have to be able to give immediate. People today don't even listen to what is happening, don't even know what is happening to them, but they are ready to respond. If they are not responding, they are reacting. Because to respond is to own that responsibility. The ability to respond is, I think, responsibility also. Reaction everywhere. Anything and everything is triggering people into reacting one way. And this is somehow held as in high esteem also. If one is able to show these so-called reactions. Unfortunate, that is a sign of a murkha. One who contradicts others without reason, one who goes astray in life, and one who makes friends with wrongdoers is a fool. You cannot expect that your life will be any better if you are friendly with wrongdoers. These days, many such things are becoming okay to do. In societies, you see that. A person who is a wrongdoer, we even say, that person smiles at me, talks to me very well. So I don't care what others say. I'm friendly with him. Try and avoid. Don't be obliged to such people. It is not a spiritual thing to do. At any given point of time, this is wrong. We can see through this, that's wonderful. One who does not know how to protect his respectability. One who always cuts jokes out of time, but gets irritated if others laugh at him and starts a fight. Such a person is a fool. I think you might know some people like this. Unnecessary joking, unnecessary laughing. Laughing for the wrong things, cutting a joke at the wrong time. Lakshana of a murkha. One should be very careful. There is a time for everything. For joking, for laughing also. One whole Upanishad can be written on this actually. What do we laugh at? Shows what our thinking is. And as we say, if we cannot appreciate the same kind of jokes, it's a strain in the relationship. If you think deeply about humor, humor comes with a lot of intelligence. People used to think that humor is buffoonery. Some clown doing something is great humor. That is at one level. But to be really called a humorist, such a person has a sense of timing, has a sense of the situation, and it's great intelligence. I was told one day, one lady told me, I wonder how she has this sense of humor and she is also intelligent. How both these things go together? These are such opposites. And I was like, no way. A person, if he has a good sense of humor, is a very intelligent person. Your sense, you think a joker is funny. He does funny actions, but that is not only that makes up for humor. So what you laugh at says a lot about you. So one who puts on impossible conditions to others, one who chatters without reason, very talkative people. Talking about what? Same old things. They meet and they have to just start. Impossible. And you wonder. And then sometimes I say, why did I even ask them? Because if I ask them something, did you attend that program? They will start with the program evening. That day I woke up at 6 in the morning. Then what happened? This happened. And I'm thinking, oh, that has something to do with the program in the evening. So I'm waiting. They say, then that time I had completely forgotten about the program. Then this phone call came from so and so. Then they were asking me about something. I decided to go for that event. Then I looked at this and then I asked you about the program. What has it got? And I'm still thinking, there is something about the program that they will now come up. Wait an hour, they have given me the entire schedule from morning to evening. The program was good. I'm still wondering, why did it take you 30 minutes to tell me this? And still you have not said anything more about the program other than that. But they have talked so much and they think they have given me a lot of information. How irrelevant it is. But people don't realize that they are going on talking. This chattering without reason, not required. Two people, when they sit together, if they are spiritually, they are inclined spiritually, walking the spiritual path, do a namaste, recognize another jiva in front of you. Recognize even if the jiva is in the form of an animal, namaste can be done. Acknowledge the presence of another divine being in front of you, and then you don't need to speak. But people think, because that is respectable, people in society have to do it. Keep it to them. If you are it's a situation, you're in a party, you're in somewhere else, a social gathering, it's a different thing. But even there, talking and talking and talking without reason, blabbering, such a person is a fool. And this person is not able to talk when needed. That is another thing. They will keep on talking very big, showing off, and then when it is required, are not able to. Such a person is a fool. One who does not know how to dress properly. One who sits in a prominent place in a meeting, and who keeps trust in his near relatives. Here, what is Swami Samartha telling? They have enough advice on how others should be, they themselves don't conduct. Plus, inappropriately dressed. Just a couple of things I feel I should tell here. Because this is a common, what should I say, a problem, issue, or something that is faced. One who does not dress properly. I don't know, 400 years ago, what was the situation that Swami Samartha felt this was relevant. But today, definitely. I had this person who was a South Indian, and he was to meet another South Indian guru only. He went to his ashram, and very popular guru, and a typical ashram gurukula atmosphere condition. Students have come there. There are visitors. There were many foreigners who have come. And if you see one thing about these foreigners, when they have to do some study, they are very disciplined. And also I hear from them that they have very short time in India, that they are traveling to India, and coming and following up with lessons and teachings is also expensive. So they are very particular that they get the best out of it when they are here. अब क्या होता है for Indians, for us localites here, no? घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर बोलते हैं. We take it very carefully. ठीक है. When they come here, they find out what is the dress code, and you will see they are all very appropriately dressed. They come in some salwar, or even there a sari. You go to Tiruvannamala, you go to these places where you will see many foreigners. Why I'm taking those names? You go to Rishikesh, any of these. Gita Bhavan, you go to. All of these ashrams, you will see the foreigners dressed, but you will see the Indians. This person goes in a sleeveless t-shirt and Bermudas. To he is a Hindu, he is a traditional, he knows the tradition, and he goes there. And there are many foreigners sitting in saris, and even the men are either in dhoti or full length pants and kurtas, foreign fellows. ये व्हाइट चमड़ी से क्यों नहीं सीखते ये लोग पता, एटलीस्ट वहां से तो सीखो. This banda comes, he sits, he doesn't even bother to do a namaskara. Okay, you don't want to do it. And he asked a question, and Swamiji replied to him, but Swamiji replied in a very curt and precise manner. He stopped. He did not encourage any discussion. This person afterwards comes and tells me, I don't think he liked the way I was dressed. Now, why don't these Swamis grow out of it? Why aren't they so traditional? This was his problem. See, when you go to a wedding, you go dressed in your silks and nice attire. When you go swimming, you go in your swimming costume. When you go to the gym or to the yoga class, you wear appropriate attire. Then when you go to meet a traditional spiritual guru, why can't you be attired properly? Why do you go in shorts and sleeveless t-shirts? This much I can't understand. Very relevant issue here. 400 years after Swami Samartha is there. And if I even speak about this, some women don't like it. Even in our class. Feet are towards the guru, they are sitting there, they want to rest, they are back fine. But in many Buddhist monasteries, they don't allow you. Some very basic things these are. One should be and we do take a lot of care. When it is a social gathering, it's a corporate meeting. Oh, do you go in sleeveless t-shirt and Bermudas? to meet foreigners who come on a business meet like this until it's not previously decided upon. Then it's a different thing, right? When it comes to satsangs, why do we have to behave this way? People go to temples, I have seen, this way. Huh? We are coming to meet God. We are not here to show anybody. You're coming to meet God. Meet him properly. Who is God? Do you even know? The one who does not know how to dress properly is a fool. This I will also completely vouch. One, okay, 51 to 60, we shall. 51. Yes. तस्करासी ओळखी सांगे देखिली वस्तू तेची मा आपले अनहित करी रागे तो एक मूर्ख हीन जनाची बरोबरी बोल बोले सरोत्तरी वाम हस्ते प्राशन करी तो एक मूर्ख समर्थासी मत्सर धरी अलभ्य वस्तूचा हेवा करी घरीचा घरी करी चोरी चोरी हा तो एक मूर्ख I may make this mistake. का गड़बड़ होता है. So just forgive me for that. सांडुनिया जगदीशा मनुष्याचा मानी भरवसा सार्थके वीण वेची वयसा तो एक मूर्ख संसार दुःखाचेनी गुणे देवास गाळी देवी मैत्राचे बोले उणे तो एक मूर्ख अल्प अन्याय क्षमा न करी सर्व काळ धारकी धरी जो विश्वासघात करी तो एक मूर्ख समर्थाचे मनीचे तुटे जयाचेनी सभा विटे क्षणाभरा क्षणा पालटे तो एक मूर्ख बहुतान दिवसांचे सेवक त्यागून ठेवी आणिक ज्याची सभा निर्णायक ते एक तो एक मूर्ख अनितीने द्रव्य जोडी धर्म नीती न्याय असो संगतीचे मनुष्य तोडी तो एक मूर्ख घरी असोन सुंदरी जो सदांचा परद्वारी बहुतांचे उच्चिष्ट अंगीकारी तो एक मूर्ख we shall just see here the 51st verse says asking for things getting things done these are like
ഇതില് ബുക്കൊന്നും ഇല്ലല്ലോ അവരെന്നെ ഇട്ടത്
51 one who gives all his information to an enemy or a robber not recognizing that one is waiting to be this also applies I think to a large extent अपने पास वो scamsters बहुत है ना on mobile you will see many people say you have won a lottery and people give them all kinds of मूर्ख है ना मूर्खपना है ना Jara, you ask people, is this true? That greed, that I have won a lottery, and when you win a lottery, you don't want to tell people about it because they'll be jealous. So you don't tell anybody and keep it quiet, and they scam you out of this. So giving information to a robber, one who demands any good thing which he sees. Okay? What is demanding? At the moment you see something that you want, okay? Or if in fact, we should avoid people on the spiritual path, a sadhak, when he sees things, until he is not offered, should not even ask. When you go somewhere, when people say, "Arey, he already has it and it is his and he is ready to give, so I asked for it. We must ask and get things." No, don't. Not for a sadhak. Here, Swami Samartha is only speaking to sadhak because he has said God realization is the goal, lakshya of reading and putting these things into practice. So the one who's not looking for God can do whatever he wants in the world. But the one who's seeking to realize this truth, who's seeking Ishvara Darshan, Atma Darshan, he should wait and not go and grab anything that is there or go and even ask for it. If it is offered to him, he may accept, not otherwise. So one who demands anything which he sees and one who hurts himself out of anger is a fool. Have you seen people who get angry and go and bang their heads on the wall? They go and they say, if you do this to me, if I don't get what I want, I will cut my wrists. Murkhapanacha. So there are different ways to deal with these murkhas. You should stay away from if you cannot deal with them. If I don't get this, I will go and commit suicide. If I don't this, I hurting themselves. This is tamo guna. Bhagavan Sri Krishna has also said in the Gita about such people who hurt themselves, even in the name of kind of vrata and tapas that they are doing. If they are hurting themselves, they are actually hurting me, he says. So he says this comes out of foolishness, out of tamoguna, out of ignorance. So when you are angry, and immediately what you should do is move away from that scene that has created a triggered anger. And since you recognize that anger is triggered, first responsibility of yours is to settle down. Bring yourself back to normal. Shantyadik parichiyatam dhritaram is what Bhagavan Shankara says in Sadhana Panchakam. Seek to be in that state of complete relaxation all the time, 24/7. This is a practice one has to do. Not to act from that agitated state of mind. So, then, one who patronizes lowly people, one who retorts harshly and eats food by the left hand is a fool. Eats food by the left hand, or do left-handers do. People who are used to using their left hand, okay? See, it is common practice in, I think, all of Asia also. In fact, even in many believers of Christianity, Islam definitely, and among Hindus, that you eat with your right hand. You may use your left hand anywhere. Like probably in the army also, every soldier is expected to salute with the right, except even if he is a left-hander, except when either if he is incapacitated, he doesn't have an arm, he doesn't have his right arm, then he is allowed. There must be some kind of this. Otherwise, I think everyone is expected to salute, even if you are a left-hander, to salute with your right. The right hand is the hand of honor, and even food is taken with the right hand. In fact, in many traditions, offering food with your left hand is also not, it is considered inauspicious. You have to serve with your right hand. When you give something, why is a handshake always with a right hand? You see, not with the left. Right? Internationally, you will see people always offer their right hand. It must have come because it is said in Britain, it is said because out of people shouldn't be carrying swords and weapons in their right, so they come open-handedly to shake. Whatever, wherever it started, this is the common tradition across. So he says, yes. So food one should not eat with your, and left is considered to be doing more actions that are, more meant for cleaning and stuff like that. So it's also unhygienic. You wash and everything with that. Also, one who becomes jealous of great men. If you find somebody who is great at something, talent-wise, achievement, accomplishment, and you are jealous, then okay, he says that one is a fool. Are we jealous? We are usually not jealous of great people. But if one of my kind, a person in my peer group, if I can call it, achieves some greatness, I'm definitely jealous, right? What happens is there are two beggars sitting on the street, and there is one very rich man in a beautiful car, very luxurious car, expensive. He comes. And when he comes, he gives money to the beggars who are sitting. And I'm also sitting there waiting. I get something. I get 10 rupee note. And I see that the neighbor, the other beggar who's sitting next to me, gets a 20 rupee note. What happens? I'm very jealous of him. Huh? The greatness that he got, he achieved, I'm not happy. I'm very jealous. Usually always jealous about, I should actually be jealous of this rich man. Array, this rich man is so rich, he has so much money. But I am always jealous about my own kind, my own tribe only. If he gets any greatness, how could he get more than this? Jealousy is something which is so subtle. One has to be very, very watchful about it. So one who becomes jealous of great men, one who covets unavailable things and steals things from his own home, is also a fool. If you know of somebody stealing, you know what? These are all okay. Swami Ramdas has called them all fool. These are all basically certain acts committed in foolishness due to ignorance. You know, when you lie at home, when you tell lies at home, when you have to steal from your own house, there is something that this person is engaging in and doesn't want to open up with the family members. That's why that provokes him to do something. So all born from tamoguna. So he's put all of that under fool or murkha lakshana. This murkhapana comes from various things actually. By abandoning the Lord of the world, one puts faith in some person and one who wastes his life doing no good to anyone. Without doing any good thing is a fool. Then 55th, one who blames God because he has suffering in his life, and one who speaks about the defects of his friend is a fool. By abandoning the Lord of the world, one who puts faith in some person. Here, I just this evening I heard about this lady whose mother is elderly, and she lost her father very early in life. Okay, and she says, I don't believe in this God. Why has this God kept my mother alive for so long? Without my father, she's suffering. Okay? Now the mother has not complained. Look at her. And wouldn't one be simply happy that even if my mother is old, that she is with me? Okay, now you will say if she's old and difficult taking care. People today want people when everything is going good. When something goes wrong, they also want to flee the scene. So is this lady taking care? No. She has a brother who is taking care and the brother is not complaining. But she has this complaint. So जैसे मैंने सुना, as I heard, I said, hey, मूर्खपणाचा लक्षण है. And I said, definitely Swami Samarth has made a comment there, and I read. He blames, she says, I don't like this God. Why is he doing this? Blaming God also for it. Because of your suffering, and she's not even suffering. You have to blame God. This very way of thinking is so wrong. Huh? See, let me tell you, friends, listen to me with, some patience. And I know it has become quite common these days when people are not well. For others, relatives also, to say, it is better she goes, be he or she goes. At least it will end his or her suffering. I pray to God. Let us not pray this way or that. See, we have all been born. In fact, I was just thinking, when this mother gave birth to that daughter, who is now complaining, that mother is still continuing to live. How much the mother would have prayed, let this birth be easy, let it be a healthy child. And the same child thinks this way about the mother. I can understand. There is suffering. This person, the patient who is going through the suffering because of his illness, understand there is a time till which he has to bear that. This is the karma that we speak about. Each one has to complete that. Do not go and ask, why are you asking God? Yes, they will say, actually, that person is in a coma, but the daughter or the son or relatives are suffering. That is your karma. Please go through that karma. Do not seek to escape it. Go deeper in your realization of what life is about. Seek God there. Seek divine guidance and presence and strength over there. Don't seek an easy and convenient way out. Convenience, comfort, these are not easy way out, is not Shreya. It is the path of prayers. Unknowingly, we do these things. Let us not. Let us catch ourselves. Who are we to ask for this? God knows when the life has to leave the body. Let it happen. Till then, what am I to do? Let me do whatever possible. God, give me the strength to do this. That should be our way of thinking. Very many ways we are with wrong thinking, unfortunately. Today, like examples I will give you. You go into any of these corporate hospitals, they are leading hospitals. We call, what do we have? Medical tourism these days. Everything is economy, right? They give you a form to fill, and I was shocked to see in the form that they are saying, will you recommend us to others? Will you come back here? Why should I come back to a hospital here? Why do I want to? But the very fact that they are asking and they are taking care is they want you to come back. Will that medicine ever work on you? It cannot work, because the intention itself is not that. Intention is you come back. How can you ever get better? That is why in our Shastras, a Vaidya is not supposed to earn money. He is supposed to live on Dakshina. A guru is supposed to live on Dakshina. A minister is supposed to live on Dakshina. They are not paid. But everything is ulta. These are the most, unfortunate, what should we say, prosperous careers. Very sad. How will anybody want to live? So this is unfortunate. There was a social worker, very good worker. I mean, I have no complaints against her. Very dedicated. She was working in an adoption center and she was counseling parents. She met one such couple who wanted to adopt a child because they couldn't have their own child. All very wonderful things. No complaints about that. But I'll tell you what my issue was here. She said, they were such a wonderful couple and I really wanted. Unfortunately, we did not have any child, who matched They do a lot of matching these days, age and looks and many things, many parameters, and everything is very nicely structured, streamlined. So then she said, I contacted because I really wanted them to have a baby, and it would be very nice if a baby could find such parents. So it would be wonderful. So I tried looking, and I asked many other adoption centers also if they had a child who would match. Then she said, because naturally it comes, this line of thinking, this line of working. She says, I hope they find a child soon. You know? So I said, wonderful lady, I know what your intentions are, but you know what you are actually seeking? That there be an orphan so that this couple can be helped. Hmm? See, the more orphanages you build, whom are you looking for? More orphans to be there? The more old age homes you build, whom are you looking for? More and more people who will be left uncared for so that they can be filling the room. Now, I am not saying don't build orphanages or don't build, it's part of life today. You will see in this, I think we would never in the Indian culture and Bharatiya Sanskriti will not, used to not allow us to create these things. And often it's a community's responsibility. If there is a child, then somebody is taking care of the child. If there is an old person, old relative, some younger person has to just take care of it. This was accepted. But now what has happened? In the name of charity, generosity is lost. Everything has become charitable and everything has become very, even charity has become business. So today many Hindu organizations are also trying to keep par. Now they are also making all these, it's a requirement today. But see, what is more true, we must give weightage to that, isn't it? Let's not break this, you know, we must keep this in mind. I don't know where we are. I've gone all over the world, reached old age homes and orphanages. Where were we? Okay, one blames God for all the suffering in his life, and one who speaks about the defects of his friends. That's where we are. Defects of his friend. You have a friend, you understand. Do not go about speaking about his defects. Such a person is a fool. So if you hear anybody saying this, in fact, you should understand that probably he's talking this way about you to another person. Be very careful. One who does not, 56th one, one who does not forgive others for petty mistakes. That means one must forgive. If it is a petty small mistake and that person has apologized, forgive, forget. One who continuously harasses others and one who is treacherous. All these are fools. Self-explanatory. मेरे को ज़्यादा बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. One who is not liked by great man. One due to whom the members in any meeting get disgusted. Okay. One who is in good mood for a moment, but changes it in the next moment. The fool. Then, one who dismisses old servants who have served for many years and appoints new ones. And one in whose conference there is no one to keep it in order. All these are fools. We can easily go back to these lakshanas wherever we want, and it's all kind of very easy to understand. One who earns money by immoral means. If you see people in society, in high society also, with a lot of wealth, with maybe, you will find them highly educated, maybe very successful also, but look for these lakshanas. Then you should know whether you should keep company with such people or not. Better to keep away from. One who dismisses old servants who have served for many years and appoints new ones, and one whose conference there is no one. If there is, he calls for a meeting and nobody to keep it under order. such is a fool. One who earns money by immoral means, one who leaves the religious conduct, morals and justice, one who breaks his relations with his companions. These are fools. One who frequents the house of other women, though his good wife is at his own home. I mean, he has a very good wife, but he likes to spend time in the company of others' wives. And one who eats the food tasted by many. These are fools. One who eats food. When COVID came, we all were very, very particular, no? About hygiene. And then everything is forgotten again. If it's in a family, within a family, and you're eating from one plate, then it is okay. Even there, between mother and child also, Shastra has that to say. By the time the child is, till the time the child is 5, maybe 6, 7, it's okay for the mother and child to eat from one plate, but after that, it is prohibited. Okay? So, food tasted by many, ये सौंफ जो रखते हैं ना होटल में, and if it is just kept, not that it is in a container where you pour out so that nobody else has touched it. Don't eat from that, because many people have put their hand. Basic hygiene. One should be careful about these things. Not only that, सब जगह पे हाथ, अभी क्या बोले? Until that person has not put his hand dipped in that puri into that pani and given served pani puri wala. लोग बोलते हैं, no, we don't want it served in hotel, we want to go and, because वो जब तक वो डुबाता नहीं, स्वाद नहीं आता. अब देखो, spiritual seekers, please note, बंद कर देना ये. Why? अरे स्वामी रामदास ने कहा मूर्ख का लक्षण है, बस इसके. According to him, he should not see me as a murkha. I love him, I revere him so much as my guru, my God. I wouldn't want him to think of me to be a murkha. I want to put in all efforts. So I will not do this. I may enjoy that pani puri, next time I will not do this. Because Swami Ramdas will be in my mind. Hey, सब हाथ डुबोया उसमें तुम नहीं खा. ठीक है, अगले क्लास में I will just forward the other topic, the second topic, signs of good qualities, and let me see if I can spend any time on that. नहीं तो मैं मूर्ख के पीछे लगता है बहुत कुछ जानती हूँ, which means I am a मूर्ख, otherwise I wouldn't have known so much about that. So we will complete this one and then go into the next topic, next class. Anything you all want to share? Any feedback? There was one question, because some students have attended the course, Vedanta course, they have studied one or two Upanishads. They tell me, why are we doing Dasbodh now? I'm telling you, it is required only after. क्या होता है ना, पहले पहले कुछ नहीं मालूम होता है, तो we studied the Upanishad and we think, wow, I have studied Bhagavad Gita, I have heard, I know what Sri Krishna says, I have studied the Upanishad, go which are the Upanishads you have studied, this is what is told. Then they tell how good to listen intellectually, we have accepted, we have understood, but we are not able to, more than that, things are not moving. Acharya, why is it not moving? Dasbodh has not been heard and put into practice. Why will Swami Ramdas write this book, one who is enlightened? He sees this is going to help more than writing a commentary on any Upanishad. This is what is needed. This is the practice. This is the practical philosophy. ये जरूरी है. चित्त शुद्धि. Yes, Samir. Absolutely. जब तक understand there is no shortcut to this. Chitta Shuddhi is 100% required, and that is all that is required, because Atman is what you are already. वो आत्मन को कहीं जाके लेकर नहीं आना है. There is nothing to obtain. But if you are not able to experience that, it is because this mind, the variations of the mind, that has not stilled us. Therefore, there is this path that is prescribed, given to us. And once this is done and the mind is quieted, you need the mind. You need the mind to get along in the world. Vyavahar mein chahiye. Without mind, where are you? Not about killing the mind. It is about chitta shuddhi, that the ego does not arise and bring about its variations. With those variations, it's very unclear. Atman is very unclear. But once that is cleansed, the polishing is done, Atman will simply shine forth. There is nothing to be done. So for Chitta Shuddhi, Dasbodh not only read, understood matlab, put into practice. It's become yours. Then only it is understood, not otherwise. है ना? Shall we conclude? Namadah Namidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om.